Have you ever had a brilliant idea? A dream you couldn't shake? You knew deep down it could change everything, but then doubt crept in. That little voice whispers, "You're not ready. What if you fail?" Sound familiar? We've all been there, frozen on the edge of potential, waiting for the perfect moment. But what if the perfect moment never arrives? What if the real magic happens outside our comfort zones, in the messy, exhilarating act of simply starting? Imagine the possibilities if we dared to jump before we felt entirely ready. What if the very act of starting was the catalyst for our growth, our success, our wildest dreams? This is a call to action, an invitation to embrace the unknown and unleash your potential. It's about silencing the voice of doubt and stepping into the power of, why not me? Why not now? Get ready to discover that true readiness is often found not in waiting, but in the daring act of beginning. Imagine Emily, a whiz with words and a heart brimming with stories. She dreamt of sharing her passion for writing with the world, of inspiring others through her words. There was just one problem. Emily was a self-proclaimed non-business person. Numbers scared her more than a blank page, and the thought of spreadsheets made her break out in a cold sweat. "I'm a writer, not an entrepreneur," she'd mutter, pushing her dream further away. But destiny, it seems, had other plans. Emily's path to entrepreneurial success wasn't paved with a business plan or a fancy MBA. It started with a simple, heartfelt blog post, a story shared on a whim. Little did she know, this seemingly insignificant act of courage would set in motion a chain of events that would change her life forever. Emily's story reminds us that sometimes the greatest journeys begin with a single step, a leap of faith into the unknown. It's about embracing the messy, imperfect reality of starting before you feel entirely prepared. Because in the arena of dreams, fortune favors the bold, the ones who dare to jump, even when their knees are shaking. One rainy afternoon, Emily sat in her favorite coffee shop, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. As she typed away on her laptop, pouring her heart into a blog post about overcoming fear, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Glancing up, she noticed a woman at the next table, her eyes glued to Emily's screen. Emily, a natural introvert, felt a wave of panic wash over her. "Did I leave a typo in that last sentence?" she thought, her cheeks flushing crimson. But before she could retreat into her shell, the woman smiled, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "I couldn't help but read over your shoulder," she said, her voice warm and reassuring. "Your words are incredibly moving. Have you ever considered writing a book?" Emily's jaw dropped. "A book?" The thought had crossed her mind countless times, but fear always held her back. "I'm not sure I'm ready," she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "But thank you. That means a lot." The woman's response was simple yet profound. Ready or not, sometimes you just have to jump. Those words echoed in Emily's mind long after the woman left the coffee shop. They were a gentle nudge from the universe, a reminder that sometimes the greatest obstacle to our dreams is ourselves. Emily realized that waiting for the perfect moment, for the stars to align, was just another form of procrastination. The real magic, she realized, lay in the daring act of starting. Fueled by the woman's words and her own rekindled passion, Emily decided to take a leap of faith. She spent the next few weeks outlining her book, her fingers flying across the keyboard with newfound purpose. Doubts still lingered in the back of her mind, but she refused to let them paralyze her. She knew that even if her book never became a bestseller, the act of writing it would be a victory in itself. As she delved deeper into the writing process, Emily realized that her initial fear of not being ready was unfounded. The more she wrote, the more confident she became. She discovered hidden depths to her creativity, a wellspring of stories waiting to be told. The blank page, once a source of intimidation, transformed into a canvas for her imagination. Emily's journey from hesitant writer to passionate author is a testament to the transformative power of starting before you feel ready. It's a reminder that action breeds confidence, and that the very act of pursuing our passions can unlock hidden potential within us. Of course, Emily's journey wasn't without its challenges. She often found herself building the boat while sailing, figuring things out as she went along. There were moments of self-doubt, technical difficulties, and the inevitable writer's block. But through it all, she persevered, fueled by the belief that she was capable of more than she gave herself credit for. She sought advice from fellow writers, attended online workshops, and devoured books on self-publishing. Each obstacle, instead of deterring her, became a stepping stone, a chance to learn and grow. Emily realized that the path to success is rarely linear, and that embracing the unknown was an integral part of the journey. Emily's story reminds us that it's okay to not have all the answers, to embrace the learning process as we go. Sometimes the most valuable lessons are learned through trial and error, through the messy, exhilarating act of figuring things out as we go. One of the most important lessons Emily learned along the way was the power of starting small. Instead of waiting until her entire book was finished, she started sharing snippets of her writing on her blog and social media. To her surprise, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Readers connected with her raw, honest voice and her message of hope and resilience. Encouraged by the feedback, Emily continued to share her work, building a loyal following of readers who eagerly awaited each new installment. By the time she finished writing her book, she had already cultivated a community of readers eager to support her work. Emily's experience highlights the power of starting small and building momentum gradually. It's about taking that first step, however insignificant it may seem, and letting the momentum carry us forward. Because sometimes, the smallest actions can lead to the greatest outcomes. Now let's meet Ethan, Emily's polar opposite in the realm of ambition. Ethan, a talented photographer with an artist's eye, dreamed of opening his own gallery, a haven for art lovers to gather and be inspired. He meticulously crafted a business plan, researched the perfect location, even designed the gallery's layout down to the last detail. Ethan believed that success was a destination, a carefully orchestrated event that required meticulous planning and flawless execution. He spent countless hours poring over market trends, attending workshops and refining his business model. "I'll be ready to launch when everything is perfect," he'd declare, convinced that his cautious approach was the key to avoiding failure. Ethan's story illustrates a common pitfall on the road to success, the illusion of perfect timing. While planning and preparation are essential, they can also become a crutch, a way to delay the scariest part of the journey, actually starting. As Emily embraced the messy reality of building the boat while sailing, Ethan found himself adrift in a sea of spreadsheets and market analyses. He became so consumed with mitigating every possible risk, so fixated on achieving the perfect launch, that he lost sight of the bigger picture, sharing his passion for art with the world. Ethan's fear of failure morphed into a fear of success. He worried about not being able to handle the demands of running a gallery, about not living up to his own expectations. He convinced himself that he needed more time, more knowledge, more experience before he could even think about taking the leap. Ethan's experience highlights the danger of analysis paralysis, the tendency to overthink and overanalyze to the point of inaction. When we become slaves to perfectionism, we risk missing out on valuable opportunities and stifling our own creative potential. While Ethan meticulously planned, Emily was busy building her platform, connecting with readers, and establishing herself as a writer. She understood that success wasn't a linear path, but a winding road full of unexpected detours and serendipitous encounters. She embraced the unknown, knowing that each stumble was an opportunity for growth. Ethan, on the other hand, remained stuck in a perpetual state of preparation. He missed out on valuable networking opportunities, collaborations, and even potential investors, all because he wasn't ready yet. This contrast between Emily and Ethan highlights the price of perfectionism. While striving for excellence is admirable, it's important to find a balance between planning and action. Sometimes the most valuable lessons are learned not in the classroom or the boardroom, but in the messy, exhilarating arena of real-world experience. One day, a renowned art collector, known for championing emerging artists, visited Emily's town. He was captivated by the local art scene and eager to discover new talent. Word spread quickly through the artistic community, and everyone was abuzz with excitement. This was it, the opportunity they'd all been waiting for. Emily, ever the supportive friend, encouraged Ethan to seize the moment. "Emily, you have to show him your portfolio," she urged, her voice filled with excitement. "This could be your big break." But Ethan hesitated. "Ethan, my website isn't ready yet," he stammered, his voice laced with doubt. "And my business cards aren't printed. What if he asks about my marketing plan? I'm not prepared." Despite Emily's pleas, Ethan let his fear get the better of him. He convinced himself that he wasn't ready, that he needed more time to perfect his pitch, his presentation, his entire existence as an artist. As fate would have it, the art collector stumbled upon Emily's blog. He was drawn to her writing style, her passion for storytelling, and her genuine support for the local art community. Intrigued, he decided to attend one of the writing workshops Emily was hosting at a local cafe. Meanwhile, Ethan sat at home, meticulously updating his website and agonizing over the perfect font for his business cards. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had missed a golden opportunity, but instead of taking action, he retreated further into his shell of self-doubt and over-preparation. This pivotal moment highlights the stark contrast between action and analysis paralysis. While Emily's willingness to put herself out there even before she felt entirely ready led to an unexpected opportunity, Ethan's fear-driven inaction cost him a chance to share his art with the world. Why is it so hard to start before we feel ready? Our brains, wired for survival, are masters at identifying potential threats. Starting something new, stepping outside our comfort zones, triggers a primal fear of the unknown. Our amygdala, the brain's alarm system, sounds the alert, flooding our system with stress hormones. This surge of adrenaline and cortisol, while helpful in a true fight-or-flight situation, can be paralyzing when it comes to pursuing our dreams. We hesitate, overthink, and convince ourselves that we're not ready, all in an attempt to avoid the perceived threat of failure, judgment, or the unknown. But here's the secret. The more we start before we feel ready, the quieter our amygdala becomes. Each act of courage, each step outside our comfort zone, rewires our brains, proving that the unknown isn't always a threat. We build resilience, develop a tolerance for uncertainty, and realize that we're capable of handling whatever challenges come our way. Procrastination, often disguised as the need to feel more prepared, is the arch enemy of starting before you're ready. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow, next week, or when the time is just right. But deep down, we know it's just a delaying tactic. The key to overcoming procrastination is to break down our goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the overwhelming enormity of the entire project, we can choose to focus on completing one small task at a time. Write one paragraph, make one phone call, or research one potential client. Each small step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, creates a sense of accomplishment, which fuels our motivation to keep going. We shift from a state of inertia to a state of flow, where action begets action, and progress becomes addictive. Starting before you're ready isn't about rushing into things blindly or throwing caution to the wind. It's about recognizing that action, even imperfect action, is the catalyst for growth, learning, and ultimately, success. Think of it like compound interest. The earlier we start investing, even with small amounts, the more time our investments have to grow exponentially. The same principle applies to our dreams. Each step we take, each action we take, no matter how small, compounds over time, creating momentum and leading to unexpected opportunities. Don't underestimate the power of starting small and letting your actions compound over time. The journey of 1,000 miles truly does begin with a single step. One of the greatest benefits of starting before you're ready is the accelerated learning curve it provides. When we dive into the unknown, we're forced to adapt, problem solve, and develop new skills at a rapid pace. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or until we feel qualified, we embrace the learning process as we go. We seek out mentors, learn from our mistakes, and constantly iterate based on feedback and experience. This hands-on, iterative approach to learning is far more effective than passive learning or waiting for permission to pursue our passions. It's in the arena of real-world experience that we truly hone our skills, develop our talents, and discover our true potential. Remember Emily, the accidental entrepreneur who dared to share her writing with the world? Her journey wasn't without its challenges, but by embracing the unknown and taking action, she unlocked a level of success she never thought possible. Her story reminds us that success is not a destination but a journey. It's about embracing the messy, imperfect reality of starting before we feel ready, knowing that action breeds confidence and that momentum builds as we go. So what are you waiting for? What dream have you been putting off because you don't feel ready enough? Take that first step today, however small it may seem, and watch as the momentum of your actions carries you towards your goals. Remember, the perfect moment is now. As we've journeyed with Emily and Ethan, we've seen two contrasting approaches to pursuing dreams. Ethan, paralyzed by the need for perfection, missed opportunities while clinging to spreadsheets. Emily, embracing the unknown, took those messy, courageous first steps, building a foundation for something incredible. Remember that feeling when you take the first plunge into a cool lake on a sweltering day? That's the feeling of starting before you're ready. It's exhilarating, a little scary, but ultimately incredibly freeing. You don't need to know every stroke to enjoy the swim, just the courage to jump in. The world often celebrates the overnight successes, the meteoric rises to fame. But what we don't see are the countless small steps, the stumbles, the aha moments that paved the way. Every grand achievement, every successful venture started with a single daring step. So, are you ready to silence that inner critic, the one whispering doubts in your ear? The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment, no magical alignment of circumstances that screams, now. The time to jump is when the desire burns brighter than the fear. What's that dream you've been nurturing? That business idea scribbled on a napkin? The creative spark you've been too afraid to fan into a flame? It's time to stop waiting and start doing. Embrace the unknown, imperfection and all. Start small if you need to. Write that first paragraph. Make that first phone call. Take that online course. Each step, no matter how tiny, builds momentum. And as you gain traction, you'll find that the universe conspires to support those brave enough to chase their dreams. Dare to jump and discover the incredible things that await you on the other side of fear. The world is waiting for your unique voice, your talents, your story. Go out there and share them with the world.